All right, today we're going over Unit 9, Lesson 1, Basic Concepts in Multiplication, talking about how unit multiplication, so a fraction, is the same as dividing by the whole number of the denominator, and we'll compare how we can multiply and divide and how that works with whole numbers and unit fractions. SAB page 371 through 374. Okay, so just to start out, we've got this example of a racetrack. It's 8 kilometers long. Alex runs around it 4 times. If Alex runs around the track 4 times, he's going to go 32 kilometers because 8 times 4 is 32. Okay, 32 again. That was a sloppy 3. Sorry about that. Kento, you can see over here, only ran 1/4 as much. So 8 taken 1/4 of the time is 2. Okay. Because 8 divided by, or 8 times 1/4 is 2. Okay, so what I really do is I take 8 and I divide it by 4. Markers come, this is just another example, markers come in sets of 6. Alta has 3 sets, you can see those here. 6 taken 3 times is 18 because 3 times 6 is 18. Isabel has lost 2/3 of her set, so now she only has 1/3 left. 1/3 of 6 is 2. You can see her 2 markers sitting over here. 1/3 times 6 is 2 because 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, so let's look at another way to talk about unit fractions multiplication. So 1/3 of 9 is like 1/3 times 9, or 9 divided by 3, which can also be written as the fraction 9/3. 9/3 is 3, right? 9 divided by 3 is 3. 1/7 of 21 can be expressed as 1/7 times 21, or 21 divided by 7, or 21/7, which is 3, because 21 divided by 7 is 3. 1/5 of 30 can be expressed as 1/5 times 30, or 30 divided by 1/5, 30 over 5, or 30/5, which is the same thing as 6, because 30 divided by 6, or 5 is 6, sorry. 1/6 of 24 is the same thing as 24 divided by 6. 24 divided by 6 can be expressed this way, but it cannot be expressed this way. Okay, that would be 6 divided by 24. All right, this is not in your book, but we're just going to run through this really quickly. How many pies did each student bake? Hopefully you can see right away this is 2. Maybe you started counting those. There's 8. So how many times as many pies did Gerardo bake as Jeremy? Well, 4 times, right? What multiplication equation goes with that? Well, 2 times 4 equals 8. How many times as many pies did Jeremy bake as Gerardo? And it says times as many, so times as many would be 1/4 times as many, right? He baked 1/4 of the pies. What multiplication goes along with that? 1/4 times 8 equals 2. Okay, if we take 1/4 of Jeremy's 8 pies, we get Gerardo's 2 pies. If we divide Jeremy's 8 pies by 4, we get 2 as well. So hopefully you're seeing that relationship between division and unit fractions. Let's practice that a little bit further. How many times as many fish did Bill catch as Amy? Well, Bill caught 15 and Amy caught 5. 15 is 3 times as many as 5. Or 5 could be said to be 1/3 as many as 15. So 1/3 times as many. 1/3 times 15 is 5. Okay, because 15 divided by 3 is 5. And even if I express it this way, 15/3, I'm just saying 15 divided by 3. So that's 5 as well. These next ones, let me go ahead and gray screen it so we're not all looking at all the answers before I explain it. When you compare points here on this table, okay, we're looking at this data table right here. We're looking at Gina and Brett. Okay, well, 32 and 8. 32 is 4 times as much as 8, so Gina scored 4 times as many points as Brett. Well, that means Brett scored 1/4 as many points as Gina, okay, because 32 divided by 4 is 8. Okay, if we compare Brent and Jacob's score, you should notice that Jacob scored half as many points as Brent, or Brent scored twice as many points as Jacob. Okay? If you guys need to pause to write those down, I know I'm going pretty fast there. Feel free to pause at any point to make sure you have this information written down. Okay? Going forward, then, looking at the length of snakes at the zoo, if Speedy is in a whole number, right, Lola is a fifth of that whole number, so much smaller, right? And Pretzel is 5 times that whole number. So if what you know holds true, this is like division, so this is going to be my smallest one. This is multiplication. When we multiply two numbers, we're going to get a larger number. And this is just that whole number all by itself. Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry. Let me come back up to Gina and Gina and Jacob. Gina scored 8 times as many points as Jacob, right? 8 times 4 is 32, and Jacob scored an eighth as many points. Okay, now I just explained the snake thing, so let's go ahead and give you the answer to that one. Lola's the shortest snake because when you multiply by a unit fraction, you're getting a smaller number because you're actually dividing. Pretzel, on the other hand, is the longest because when you multiply two whole numbers, you're going to get a larger number. Okay, so let's try a couple equations out. If Speedy is 25 inches long, how long is Lola? Well, that's like saying 1/5. Oops, let me get my narrower pen. 1/5 times 25, or 25 divided by 5, which is 5. So Lola's would be 5 inches long. Okay. If Pretzel's 50 inches long, how long is Speedy? Well, we're looking at Pretzel, and we're going to try and go and use inverse operation to get back up to here. So to go one way, you would multiply. To go the other way, you would divide. So we're going to do 50 divided by 5, which is 10. So Speedy would be 10 inches long. All right, that's all for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.